seen some bizarre racing games over the years on Cybernet, but Sledstorm is one of the craziest. Sled racing is like a combination of snowboarding and jet skiing. It's a mixture of high-speed racing action and some fancy mid-air tricks. You can choose from 6 funky characters to control, and as you become more successful, you can upgrade your sled to make it faster and more manoeuvrable. Sledstorm is excellent fun to play and boasts some impressive graphics. Although pulling tricks is fairly awkward, the fast and frantic racing more than makes up for this. Unlike other snow-based games, most of the races take place on proper tracks, so you're always guaranteed some close action. Your sled is very responsive, making this a neat and enjoyable game to play, and the multiplayer option is one of the best we've seen in a PlayStation racing title. If anything, Sledstorm is a bit too easy, but then this isn't really a title that you play with the aim of winning endless championships. It's a straightforward action game that's best played with your friends. If you're on the lookout for some new racing thrills, then Sledstorm is not only very original, but it's a great all-round package. The Honda motorcycle racing simulations were a surprise hit on the PC. Now PlayStation owners have the chance to race a superbike as fast as they dare. Castrol Honda Superbike Racing is the first bike simulation on the PlayStation, so it doesn't have much in the way of competition. And to be honest, this game is fairly average in most areas. The game lets you adjust your suspension, gear ratios and other areas on the bike to achieve its best performance. But ultimately, the bike's handling is not the best, and certainly doesn't come across as being as realistic as the PC version. As soon as you load the game, you'll be disappointed by the graphics, and there's only really one decent perspective from which to race. In terms of the actual on-track action, it's not bad, but it won't have you coming back for more. Castrol Honda Superbike Racing fills a gap in the PlayStation market, but it should have been so much better. 10 of the best-selling N64 games from around the world now with the Cybernet chart. At 10 and leaping back into the top 10, it's those cute little racers from Mario Kart 64. In 9th, one of the best games ever made. Keeping us waiting for Perfect Dark, it's GoldenEye 007. It's all in the wrist for All-Star Tennis 99. It smashes into our chart at number 8. Look out for Prehistoric Pedestrians at 7 in Diddy Kong Racing. Still precariously hanging around in the charts in 6th, it's Mission Impossible. And at number 5, the second most successful Beatles ever in Beetle Adventure Racing. Straight in at number 4 is the N64's greatest strategy title to date, Command & Conquer. The second of 3 new entries this week, Quake 2 blasts its way to 3rd. And moving forcefully through the pack, F1 World Grand Prix 2 enters the top 10 in 2nd position. But still out in front and showing no signs of slowing, Star Wars Episode 1 Racer is this week's number 1. Time for some fun in the sun now with another flight simulation heading your way, the aptly named Fly. Like several other civil aviation games, you can pilot all kinds of small-scale aircraft in many different scenarios. One of this title's main strengths is the choices it allows you in deciding when, where and what you want to fly. Although the lack of landscape detail is very disappointing, the game's physics are excellent and the planes react how you'd expect them to. Here we decided to make our passengers feel slightly ill. As a beginner, an indestructible aircraft always helps. Pass that sick bag, please. Fly is not quite as interesting as Flight Unlimited 3, but for a relaxing trip through the clouds, this is as real as it gets. Right now, left a bit, right a bit, steady, Ah. There we go, lovely. Yes, here's another football game for your PC, but what you really want to know is whether it's as good as FIFA. International Football 2000 lacks an official license, but what it loses in authenticity, it more than makes up for in terms of playability. And yes, it is better than FIFA. You can choose to play with over 73 countries from around the world, and you can also recreate the qualifying rounds for the Euro 2000 Championships.
No trouble for the keeper. Good header, played short.
Despite some horrendous commentary, this game is a winner. The controls are some of the most simple and user-friendly we've seen. It blends the arcade fun of the FIFA games with the strategic emphasis of the Actua soccer titles. Therefore, it should appeal to beginners as well as devoted football fans. If you're struggling to score goals, then the useful training mode is both helpful and fun to play. International Football 2000 may not have a flashy license, but it looks great. This game definitely has championship potential. OK, time for our competition now, so grab a pen. This week's prize is a PlayStation and a copy of Wipeout 3 to play on it. So prepare for extreme speed with the sequel to one of the most influential PlayStation games ever. To win this prize, call our number and answer this question. What is the name of the most recent Star Wars movie? Is it A, The Phantom Menace, B, Citizen Kane, or C, The Godfather Part 3? If you think you know, call 0660 113333. Please dial carefully and don't forget to ask permission from the person who pays the telephone bill first. We'll put up the question and number again at the end of today's show, so get dialing and good luck! Coming up, we command and conquer, revisit some arcade classics, and show you the upcoming games that we're most excited about. If you have any interest in PC games, then the chances are that you've spent the last 3 years waiting for just one thing. Well, the sequel to Command & Conquer and Red Alert has finally arrived, and it's worth the wait. The war between the Global Defense Initiative and the Brotherhood of Nod continues in Command & Conquer Tiberian Sun.
One vision, one purpose.
I've never seen anything like it, sir. It's easily the size of one of our carriers, but...
But what?
I don't think humans made this, sir.
Pull back, soldier!
Gameplay-wise, things have hardly changed. You're still looking down on a two-dimensional battlefield, issuing orders to your loyal troops. Again, you can play as either the good guys or the bad, and a complicated storyline develops between missions. You also have the task of managing your resources by harvesting the mysterious Tiberian plant.
The harvester will automatically begin harvesting any nearby Tiberium.
Harvested Tiberium is converted into cash. You can use this cash to build up the defences around your base, or spend it on some more soldiers, tanks, or a few of those very attractive flying troop transporters. Tiberian Sun is almost certain to become the fastest-selling PC game ever, and it's not hard to see why. The developers clearly know about gameplay, the balance of the units is better than in Red Alert, and the map design is almost perfect. There's very little that's new here, but what there is flawless. Gauntlet was an arcade classic, and now it's being given the 3D treatment with Gauntlet 3D Legends. Console owners will soon be able to experience the 4-player action that made the original such a success. There are 4 characters to choose from: the Warrior, Magician, Archer and Valkyrie, and each has their own skills. The Warrior is excellent at wielding the sword, the Valkyrie mixes magic with hand-to-hand combat, the Archer is the fastest and the most accurate, and the Magician can toast anything in sight with his awesome spells. The N64 and PlayStation versions differ from the arcade game by having 2 new worlds to explore, bosses to fight, and the ability to save your characters and take them round to play at a friend's house. Very nice. The mixture of adventuring, combat and role-playing is bound to be successful, and it's about time they brought this great game up to date. We'll be back in the land of legends for a full review soon. Here's another old favourite that's turning 3D. Get on your bike and prepare for Paperboy on the N64. Before you start your deliveries, you must first plan your route and decide on the game challenge. Then it's off on your bike around town, throwing as many papers as you can in an effort to ward off every obstacle imaginable. And there are some pretty imaginative obstacles. Of course, this is the 1990s, so what every little paperboy needs is a paper girl. From what we can see, there's no noticeable difference between the two characters. She still has a stack of newspapers to throw around, and the hazards remain the same. However, all will be revealed when the game is ready for review. Apart from some spectacular tricks and some nasty landings, this early footage seems a little slow, but the game's style grows on you, and it's all incredibly cute. Will Paperboy on the N64 capture our imaginations as much as the original 2D version did? Well, we'll just have to wait for our delivery of the finished game to find out. Time to travel into the near future now as we show you exclusive footage from some of the hottest titles currently in development. First up is the eagerly awaited Anachronox. This will see you controlling 3 of a possible 7 characters in a galaxy populated by a huge number of different space enemies. Although the idea doesn't sound that revolutionary, we're assured that the game will be quite unlike anything you've seen before, as John Romero explained.
Anachronox is Final Fantasy VII-ish. It's fully 3D. The combat takes place where you are at in the game.
The tried and tested Quake 2 engine is used and so will deliver super fast gameplay. A strong storyline and imaginative visuals make this one to watch. Different from Anachronox but just as promising is Evolva. You may have seen this game previewed on Cybernet in recent weeks and we're eagerly looking forward to its eventual release. Evolva promises to be a truly original game and we predict that it'll receive great critical acclaim when it's finally finished. But what exactly is it all about?
Evolva is an action strategy game. The key thing about Evolva is that the player controls a small team of genetically engineered Geno warriors.
You can control and evolve your characters by defeating various creatures and incorporating their special DNA into your own character. The result is a unique, highly strange-looking being. A lot of original thought and effort has gone into Evolva, and we can't wait for its release. Staying with odd-looking creatures, this is Perfect Dark. The game comes from the makers of GoldenEye, one of the most impressive games of recent years. Like GoldenEye, Perfect Dark is a first-person combat game. You control Joanna Dark in this shadowy and dangerous world, where surprisingly aliens are your friends and humans are to be mistrusted. The game will feature stunning visuals, including over 60 minutes of cinema-style scenes. The audio has been carefully designed to make you feel as if you're actually there. An exciting feature of Perfect Dark will be the ability to put your face onto multiplayer characters. Using the Game Boy camera and a special transfer pack that connects to your controller, you can take a picture of your face and paste it into the game. With innovations like this, we think Perfect Dark will be a huge success. So keep watching Cybernet in the coming weeks for full reviews of all these titles. We'll have to leave Joanna Dark there as it's time to say goodbye. Don't forget you can always try our competition to win a console. Until next time, here's some more of the new Tarzan game and movie. So keep swinging, keep watching Cybernet.